way too early. Top 25 for 2026. Yes, I know Indiana just won the national championship. Congratulations, Indiana. But we're on to 2026 already. Kurt Signetti said, hey, we're going to take Tuesday off, but we're right back to work on Wednesday, as are we at the Ian Fritts Show. All eyes on 2026. Who's going to crack my way too early top 25? Let's find out. But first, if you are new here, subscribe down below and then follow at Ian Fritts Show right there on TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram. But without further ado, we're going to jump right into my top 25. Okay, at number 25, I have the Vanderbilt Commodores. Okay, yes, they're losing Diego Pavia. They're losing Eli Stowers. Okay, they're losing several guys on the offensive line. But, you know who they're not losing? Their coach, Clark Lee. I believe in that guy. I'm keeping him in the top 25. At number 24, surprise, surprise. Yes, this is an actual surprise. The Kentucky Wildcats. Now, do I have any basis, any logical reason to put them at number 24? No. No, I do not. However, I have a sneaking suspicion that I believe in this football team for 2026, and I think they will actually be a solid football team in 2026. Kenny Minchie, I love that dude. If the reports were true from fall camp with him versus CJ Carr, they got a stud on their hands at Kentucky, okay? I believe in Will Stein as well, the offensive coordinator. And the defense has good talent. I like what they brought in the portal. I like Kentucky at that number 24 spot. At number 23, we have the Tennessee Volunteers. Okay, look, you got Josh Heupel. The offense is going to put up points. I have no worry about that at all. In fact, they went and got the strength and conditioning coach at Indiana. If you watch what Indiana's done the past 2 years, that's a great hire for Josh Heupel there in Knoxville, Tennessee. I love what he did there with that hire. Now, we got to fix the defense, Hype. We got to fix the defense. But the offense, they're going to put up numbies, so we're putting them at number 23. At number 22, maybe a little bit of a shocker. Maybe I'm just relying on how much I like this head coach. But we're putting number 22, Penn State Nittany Lions, okay? Or should I say the Penn State Iowa State Cyclones, okay? Because it's the same team. You're basically taking all the best players from Iowa State and you're putting them in Happy Valley, Pennsylvania with their head coach, Matt Campbell, as well. Look, I love Rocco Beck. I love Matt Campbell. I think Penn State, and they don't have a too terribly difficult schedule next year, I think Penn State could be sneaky playoff team next year, but they're at 22 on the top 25 right now. At number 21, Ole Miss. Now, let me preface this. This Ole Miss team would be much higher if Trinidad Chambliss is coming back. Now, he's suing the NCAA. Who knows how long that's going to take? Is he going to win? I don't know. I don't think so. He's suing them because he had tonsillitis? Trinidad, I love you, man. But we can't be suing the NCAA for tonsillitis, guy. I mean, that's ridiculous. I'm bringing tears to my eyes because it's so funny. Tonsillitis, what a joke that is. But they still have talent there. They still got Keywan Lacey. They're still going to have wide receivers. They're still going to have people on their team. And Pete Golding, what he did in the playoffs, I'm not going to think that is just going to go away. So I think they deserve to be in the top 25. Maybe a little lower could be fine, but they're at 21 for me. At number 20, we have the Louisville Cardinal. Okay, look, you get Lincoln Kienholz coming in there from Ohio State. Now, is he that good of a quarterback? We're not so sure. This is going to be his third year, I believe, in college, and he has not been a starter yet. Now, he's been behind Will Howard and Julian Sayin, two good quarterbacks. So, what does that tell you? I don't know. But Jeff Brom, I think he's going to be able to make something happen with Lincoln Kienholz there in Louisville, North Carolina. Not North Carolina. I'm sorry to everyone in Louisville. Louisville, Kentucky. Look, and you keep Isaac Brown in Louisville as well. That's a big get to retain him. So I think Louisville at 20 is fine. I've seen a lot of people have Louisville up there in the top 15. I don't see it yet from the quarterback position, so I'm not there quite yet. At number 19, the SMU Mustangs, okay, or should we say the Dallas Stangs, okay? I love their throwback uniforms there at SMU. Look, you get Kevin Jennings for year 3. I'm big on quarterbacks with experience. Now, is it great? That wasn't a great strategy coming into this year with Kate Klubnik and Garrett Nussmeier. That didn't work out so great, did it? Did it? No, it didn't. But I think Kevin Jennings is a different type of quarterback. He has the mobility. He has a rocket arm. I think they could be good. They also could regress because they were a big-time turnover-driven team last year, and they lucked into a bunch of those. So, boom or bust for SMU. I think 19 is a good spot for them. At number 18, we got the Iowa Hawkeyes. Just kind of right where Iowa should be. In my mind, that's exactly where they should be, so that's exactly where I have them. Number 17, we got the Michigan Wolverines. Okay, look, Kyle Whittingham coming in there, head coach. He's about 70 years old. 2 years ago, the beginning of this show, I said he was the best coach in college football. Okay? Now, funny enough, when I said that, it was in reference to Michigan's cheating scandal. I can't remember the exact tweet, but somehow, some way, it was in reference to Michigan's cheating scandal, and now he's the head coach at Michigan. Funny how the world works. Maybe we saw it coming at the Ian Fritts show. I'm not sure, but he's there. You got Bryce Underwood for year 2. Seemingly, Bryce Underwood got worse passing the football as the year went on, so I'm not exactly sure what to do with that information, but the defense is going to be good. I think Michigan could be a little lower. A lot of people are higher on Michigan than me. Is what it is. At number 16, I got the Houston Cougars. Okay, look, I love Willie Fritts. I love Connor Wegman. Now, I could be wrong. Connor Wegman may be out of eligibility, so just forget that. But if he's not, year 2 in that system in Houston, I think that Willie Fritts defense is still going to be a Willie Fritts defense, so I like Houston at number 16. Now, if the fan base would show up to their home football games, they may be a little higher in this ranking, but they're not because their fan base stinks, okay? At number 15, the Alabama Crimson Tide. Do they deserve to be there? Let's think about that. Well, it's a way too early top 25, so they can be wherever I deem them to be. So, yes, they do deserve to be there. Now, you got Austin Mack, quarterback there. He looks like a statue. He is chiseled. He is built. He's about 6'5". He has a rocket arm. He's everything you want in a quarterback if you were to design him. Now, that doesn't always translate. But I just lean into how much talent they have, and I think they'll win. So I'm going to keep them at 15. Number 14, the Utah Utes. Kyle Whittingham left a team that I think was set up for great success this upcoming season. Now, he's getting a boatload of money over there in Michigan, and maybe you've been there for 20 years. Maybe you just call it quits at the job that you've been at for a very long time. I get all that. But I think Devon Dampier, I think he's sneaky breakout Heisman season coming up for him in 2026. I like what the Utes got coming back. I think they could be sneaky good this year. They could also be sneaky bad. It's one of those teams where it's either going to be really good or it's going to be really bad in my mind. At number 13, I got BYU Cougars. I love saying that. Cougars. Okay, look. 2 things. Bear Bachmeier coming back. He's going to be a sophomore. I love that dude. Tree trunk legs. He's awesome. Where's number 47? That dots it down a little bit for me. Maybe they would have cracked the top 10 if he didn't wear number 47, but he does. So we're cracking him down to number 13. And then also Kalani Sitake. The dude was getting $1 gazillion to go to Penn State. And then he was like, wait a minute, Crumble Cookies comes in. There's another guy who owns a big old company there in BYU. And he's like, no, Kalani, you got to stay here. And he did. So I love him. And I love what he's done there at BYU. They're at number 13. At number 12, we got the USC Trojans. Okay, look. Lincoln Riley just hired Gary Patterson for the defensive coordinator position. Okay, I believe in Lincoln Riley, and I believe in that offense. I know they're going to score points. I know they're going to put up numbies on that offense. Now with that defense with Gary Patterson, I believe in Gary Patterson, baby. I think it's a phenomenal hire for Lincoln Riley there in Southern California. So give me USC at number 12. And then at number 11, the Miami Hurricanes. Look, the trenches, defensive line, offensive line, I believe in those trenches there in Miami, Florida with Mario Cristobal at the helm. Now, who's going to be their quarterback? Okay, is it going to be Darian Mensah? He's getting sued left and right. He can't go anywhere. You got to be here. What are we doing? I don't know who Miami's quarterback is going to be, but somehow, some way, they're going to pony up a boatload of money and they're going to get somebody. I don't know when. I don't know how. I'm leaning toward it's not going to be Darian Mensah, but if it is, I need to bump Miami up into the top 10, okay? But right now, he's not their quarterback. I think 11 is a fine spot for the Canes. At number 10, the Texas A&M Aggies, okay? I'm a little lower on the Aggies than some people. However, 10 is a good spot. 10 is a great spot for them, okay? Marcel Reed coming back year 3. What I like about them more than Marcel Reed year 3 is that it's going to be year 3 for that Mike Elko defense. That's what I like more. You're also going to have a new offensive coordinator there for Texas A&M. See how that shakes out. Is it going to be good? I don't know. So I'm a little iffy about that offense, but that defense I think is going to be phenomenal. Okay, at number 9, the Texas Tech Red Raiders. Okay, look. The whole team's getting retooled, basically. You're getting a new quarterback, Brendan Sorsby, bringing him in. You're bringing in a whole bunch of really good players for that defense. I think the defense is going to be phenomenal once again. I think the offense is going to put up a lot of numbers in the Big 12. So you're going to be at number 9 in the way too early 2026 top 25. At number 8, I have the Oklahoma Sooners. Okay, look, QB back, offensive line back. Majority of their defensive starters are back. Where it worries me a little bit is that the offense wasn't great last year. I think the defense is still going to be at that level, maybe regress a little bit, but I think that offense is going to be potentially really, really good, okay? Mateer, year 2 in the SEC, I think he gets better, and I think he progresses. So I got Oklahoma at number 8. At number 7, the Oregon Ducks. Again, a little lower than a lot of people. Look, they got talent. Yes, I know. They got Dante Moore. Yes, I know. Okay, you lose both coordinators. I think that's going to hinder you a little bit, and I'm not the biggest believer in Dante Moore. I actually wanted to put them lower, and this is going to sound counterintuitive, but the reason I didn't is because of Dante Moore, and you're thinking, Ian, you just said you don't like Dante Moore. I don't like Dante Moore, but he has a clutch gene. He gets it done when it needs to matter, or when it matters the most. So, and the talent, 7 is a fine spot for Oregon. At number 6, LSU. I'm way higher than people on LSU. I believe in Sam Leavitt. I believe in Lane Kiffin. They're paying dudes in the portal. They're keeping their best players on the roster. Yeah, sign me up. We are really not going to believe in Lane Kiffin? Are we kidding ourselves? Guys, what are we doing? You got the best quarterback in the portal. Yes, LSU's going to be really good next year. At number 5, the Ohio State Buckeyes. Okay, year 2 for Julian Sayin. I believe in the talent they have. Year 3 for Jeremiah Smith. They're going to be awesome. Okay, let's just stop kidding ourselves. They're going to be awesome next year. At number 4, I have the Georgia Bulldogs. Okay, look, I like Georgia. I like Kirby Smart. Enough said. Don't really need to go in too much depth with what Georgia has coming back and with what they got moving forward. I believe in Kirby Smart. Georgia at number 4. At number 3, the reigning, defending national championship winners, the Indiana Hoosiers. What a sentence I thought I would never say. They're at number 3. Okay, look, you lose your quarterback, you lose the Heisman Trophy winner. I'm going to have to bump you down a little bit. I'm not a believer in if you win the national championship, you're automatically number 1 in the preseason polls, in the way too early polls. I don't believe in that garbage because it's a different football team. Okay, we're not projecting what 2025 Indiana would be in 2026. No, it's a different football team. They're at number 3, still a really good ranking. And a lot of people are saying we should bump them down. They're losing a lot of players. I don't care. It's Curt Cignetti. They're going to figure something out, okay? I'll believe in that guy. And at number 2, the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. Okay, virtually the entire team is coming back, if I am correct. They got a couple good players out of the portal, 3 or 4 starter caliber players. CJ Carr, favorite to win the Heisman Trophy. Imagine that Heisman Trophy goes to the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. I love CJ Carr. I love Notre Dame. I love Marcus Freeman. But there is only one team that could possibly be at the number 1 spot, and it is the Texas Longhorns. Look, what they did in that portal, folks, is mesmerizing. They went and got the number 1 wide receiver. They got the top 2 running backs. They got offensive line guys. They got talent everywhere on that offense. I'm not sure how you stop it. I'm not sure what you do. And Arch Manning is going to be really good next year. He was really good at the end of the year. He's going to get better next year. He is a good quarterback. I have Texas as number 1 in the way too early 2026 top 25 here at the Ian Fritts Show. If you are new here and you enjoyed this video, subscribe down below. If you are new here and did not enjoy this video, subscribe anyways and leave a hate comment. Follow at Ian Fritts Show on Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram as well. And let me know in the comments what you disagree with, and we can have a civil discourse and maybe an uncivil discourse if you want it to go that way. I love you guys. Bye.
This is going to run it all the way back. Auburn's going to win the football game. Auburn's going to win the football game. He ran the
Whoa, he has trouble with the snap, and the ball is free. It's picked up by Michigan State's Jalen Watts Jackson.